Spread out all over the south here, bringing you the latest weather impact alerts. We're going to have all of those details and more coming up. Conditions as the winter storm comes to an end. We'll check in with ABC24's Desmond Nugent and Lauren Turman in a bit. And later, we'll show you how the rest of the country is braving the first winter storm of the season. We're taking a live look right now here at our Midtown camera. We're taking a look at all of that snow downtown across the region here, and I'll give you a quick transition into the forecast, as it does seem we're going to be having quite a bit to watch here in the next couple of days. I do see us having those temperatures much below average, staying in that range for many days at a time here. Again, more details on that coming up here soon.
All right, thanks for that, Daniel. Stepping in, appreciate it. Great work. You know, you're coming for everything. You're doing live shots. You're outside. You're back here in the Weather Center. But we got a lot of this forecast still to get to, huh?
Yes, it does seem we have quite a bit to talk about here. Even though the precipitation has ended, we are going to be watching for those impacts across the area, as it does seem we have those temperatures forecast to only reach into the upper teens and lower 20s for today, as we should be seeing highs into that 15 to 20, 25 degree below average range. Again, we're usually somewhere around the upper 40s to lower 50s here to end January, and lows typically starting to get above freezing, but that will absolutely not be the case as we are going forward here in the next couple of days. We should be only down into the upper single digits, lower teens, as we really head throughout this morning with a wind chill that is feeling like -2 right now in Memphis. We've had those negative wind chills for the last several mornings, though I still don't think we've even reached the coldest wind chill yet across the area, because now we have cold weather warnings in place for the Mid-South and many other areas as well, as we can see why that is with our model showing high temperatures today, only reaching the teens and 20s in most areas. We are not quite as cold as some areas further north. It looks like Springfield, Missouri, going to have a high of 8 degrees. Again, cold weather advisories and warnings in place. All of these blue colors stretching from parts of the Florida Panhandle out west to Oklahoma and New Mexico, and then back east here towards parts of Pennsylvania and West Virginia. So again, the winter storm that covered so many different swaths of the United States has largely left and stopped dropping precipitation, but still quite a bit of impacts for quite a bit of the country left. I'll have more details on what that means for the Mid-South in particular, though, coming up later on in the show.
All right, thanks for that, Daniel. Now let's take a look at your roads here this morning. Right, just about 6 a.m. You can see a little more activity. Got a couple drivers there. I-40 at Jackson, a couple folks going as well. We just saw some folks drive past on I-55 at Shelby. I-55 is looking like pretty passable right now. Certainly a lot of kudos to all those TDOT crews and everyone else helping clear these interstates to make them drivable. Yesterday, things were really difficult for a lot of cars, including myself, but things are improving ever so slightly, but it's going to be a while until things are back to normal here as we stay in these sub-freezing temperatures. So this is going to remain an issue really throughout the week. Just pack your patience. If you have to be out, make sure you've got all of the emergency supplies and you're not doing anything too hazardous, but we will keep track of those roads for you throughout the rest of the show. In fact, hundreds of people right now, thousands really in North Mississippi, that are waking up without power. You're taking a look at the Entergy outage map. All of those red dots you see are customers braving the frigid temps without electricity. ABC24's Desmond Nugent has been covering the ice storm and begins our team coverage from Oxford. Good morning, Desmond. I hope you're staying a little bit warm. How are things down there?
Kevin, it's still been very cold, actually colder than it was yesterday, and this is actually the second day that not only myself and my photographer Devin Wood have been without power, but the nearly 20,000 plus people are without power still here in Oxford. And one of the biggest reasons why is because of the heavy amount of ice accumulation that has been not only on trees but also on down power lines. And this morning, as streets refroze, this is exactly what it looks like. I'm gonna step out of the way, Devin, so people can see it. It's still solid ice. This is what it looks like. So if people are thinking about driving, I would warn you to do the exact opposite. You should stay inside as much as you can I do know that one of the things that I wanted to emphasize is that I woke up this morning and my room temperature was at 59 degrees, and yesterday it was, or at least last night, it was a little bit over 63 degrees. So as it gets colder outside, it's going to get colder for people who have to stay indoors. So I know one of the things that Bo Moore with the Lafayette County Emergency Services did emphasize is that people should wear plenty of layers, not just with shirts, but with socks as well. Also, just make sure you drink plenty of water and just stay indoors if you can. So today will be a lot different than yesterday because it's colder outside. So again, we don't have any updates as far as when power is being restored, but I would assume that once the sunlight comes out, or at least when the daybreak hits, that those crews will be coming out to try to do at least restore that power. But again, we will continue to keep you updated when more information becomes available. Live in Oxford, Mississippi, Desmond Nugent, ABC24 News.
All right, Desmond, thank you. Appreciate all of your hard work. We're staying in Mississippi here this morning as a precaution, the Holly Springs Utility Department has issued a voluntary boil water advisory for all customers. Officials say it's due to increased water flow required to keep pipes from freezing. We'll update you as soon as more info becomes available.
Well, still a lot of impacts to be felt across the Mid-South over the course of today and the next several days, despite all of that precipitation having moved out of our region. We'll start off with one of the better current conditions, visibility at a full 10 miles everywhere across the Mid-South. So if we are in those, or if we do have to absolutely leave here and travel this morning, we are fortunately looking at good conditions. We're not really going to see any sort of interference from the atmosphere. It's just going to be those roadways covered with all of that precipitation we saw, the snow and sleet especially, and even a little bit of ice further south and east across the region, which, speaking of the areas that did see the most ice, Bolivar, Corinth, and Oxford, we don't have any reports right there because it still seems we are without power in many of those locations. All of the ice accumulation, a lot to handle for those power grids, and on the amounts we saw, really just too much to handle for some of them. Wind chill right now is at -2 here in Memphis, -5 in Dyersburg and Covington, the single digits in most other spots. And we're not any higher than 2 degrees for the moment. So yet another very frigid start here before sunrise, but even then, doesn't look like the sun's going to help us all out that much. We're only going to see highs around 20 for today, as the weather impact alert will still be in place for cold weather warnings through tomorrow afternoon. But even then, as we do head towards more neutral conditions, we're not going to warm up. In fact, we may actually cool down a little bit further, sort of getting stuck here with polar air in the upper 20s to lower 30s through the end of the weekend. A lot to discuss, a lot to still be prepared for as we endure this pattern. More on that coming up.
All right. Thanks for that, Daniel. Memphis City crews have been busy clearing the roads for safe travel, and there's a lot of concern that the snow will turn to ice as temperatures drop. So now we check back in with ABC24's Lauren Turman to continue our team coverage from downtown Memphis. Lauren, good morning. How are you seeing things out there? What's it like?
Good morning, Kevin. Well, I know it might be a little bit strange for me to say that things are feeling a little bit warmer out here than they were yesterday, with our temperatures only being in the teens and 20s in this area, but it does feel warmer, noticeably warmer out here, especially since yesterday morning when we were having those severe winds. That sleet, that snow was coming down, hitting quite hard, and the impact of that was felt significantly harder than it is right now, of course, now with that precipitation being done. I want to give you a look at where we are right now. We've moved locations to show you more of what these crews are doing on the streets this morning. We're at the intersection of Main Street and Beale, right outside of the Orpheum. You could probably see that pile of snow we showed you earlier. Very similar piles have been going down along Beale Street as crews are working to plow this snow. And then right next to the MLGW building, you can also see 2 plow trucks out here. They have been coming occasionally, but because of the drop in temperatures, because of the snow and sleet combination, and now the ice issue that we are dealing with on these roads right now, it is going to take those trucks quite a long time to clear these roads out here. It is really not safe for anybody to be out here driving right now. There's a large possibility of getting stuck. There's also a large possibility of having an accident or running into something like a pole or a curb out here. So of course, as many of these city entities have been doing, we are urging that everybody stays off the roads unless absolutely necessary. Of course, as we mentioned, with those plows coming in, with the salt trucks and other abilities kind of coming in and trying to make sure that everybody is staying as safe as possible out here, if they do decide to drive, it will of course take multiple passes. We showed you earlier just how hard the roads are, how tough that snow and sleet combination is, and then all of the ice that is buried under that. I mentioned earlier that Memphis Public Works officials were really concerned about that ice, about that accumulation melting, then refreezing overnight, and then turning into a layer of ice on Memphis's streets. And some of that has happened this morning as well. And then it's only expected to get worse, according to those officials, over the next couple of days here as well. So again, unsafe driving conditions. It's very high possibility of people getting stuck if they're driving anywhere downtown in this area as well. Now, in terms of outages, we've only seen 2 power outages according to the MLGW map so far this morning, which is a great thing, completely opposite situation of what you just saw from Desmond down in Mississippi there. And hopefully those outages will remain to a minimum. Coming up, I'll tell you more about what these city officials are doing and what many of these companies are planning to do in order to assist people at things like warming centers and some of these closures that may impact you all at home. And that's coming up. But for now, live in downtown Memphis, I'm Lauren Turman, ABC24 News.
All right, thanks for that, Lauren. Stay warm out there. Appreciate all the hard work you've been putting in really all weekend long. ABC24 is committed to keeping you informed as we close out the first winter storm of the season. Our teams will continue to show you the conditions where you live. So to get the latest updates, download our 24 Plus app. Just scan the QR code you see on your screen. 24 Plus is available for free on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. We just have a lot more to get to this morning, including what's open and what's closed today. Plus,
this is the first time I've experienced this weather. I didn't want to spend it indoors.
we're headed to West Memphis in Arkansas to see how some are taking advantage of the snow. But before we head to break, here are some of your snow pics. Beautiful dog enjoying the first winter storm in Rossville. This photo was shot by Kalina Benimon of Cooper's Winter Wonderland. Love it. Keep those winter photos coming. Just scan the QR code that we will show you here momentarily to send them to our Facebook group. There you go. Just scan that QR code and send them to our Facebook group and you'll get them featured right here. We'll be right back.